Victoria's hands tremble as she reads the journal entry. "Tonight I give you everything," Marcus had written, but the hospital corridor erupts in chaos. Emma's monitors scream. Her daughter is coding. The merger papers lay unsigned. And Marcus stands in the doorway, holding the one choice that will destroy them or save them all. Before we dive in, comment where in the world you are watching from, and don't forget to click subscribe. The rain hammered against the floor-to-ceiling windows of Montgomery Industries as Victoria Blake stared at her reflection. At 36, she had everything a woman could want on paper. CEO of a tech empire, penthouse overlooking Manhattan, closets full of designer suits, everything except the one thing her 8-year-old daughter Emma desperately needed, a father figure who actually showed up. Victoria's ex-husband had walked out when Emma was 2, choosing his mistress and a life in Dubai over his family. Since then, it had been just the two of them. Victoria threw herself into building her company, while Emma grew up in the care of nannies and private tutors. The loneliness in her daughter's eyes during the recent school father-daughter dance had shattered something inside Victoria's carefully constructed armor. The intercom buzzed. "Ms. Blake, your 3 o'clock is here. Marcus Thompson from the construction crew." Victoria frowned. She hadn't scheduled any meetings with contractors. "Send him in." The man who entered her office was not what she expected. Marcus Thompson stood well over 6 feet, his broad shoulders filling out a simple work shirt. His hands showed the calluses of real labor, and there was a quiet confidence in the way he moved. But it was his eyes that caught her attention. Warm brown eyes that held both strength and gentleness. "Ms. Blake, I'm Marcus Thompson, site foreman for the renovation crew working on your building's 10th floor. There's a significant structural issue we need to discuss immediately." For the next 20 minutes, Marcus explained the problem with remarkable clarity. He wasn't just muscle. He understood engineering, load-bearing calculations, safety protocols. Victoria found herself leaning forward, genuinely engaged not just by the information, but by the man delivering it. "I appreciate your thoroughness, Mr. Thompson. Please proceed with your recommendations." As Marcus stood to leave, a small voice from the doorway made them both turn. "Mommy, Mrs. Chen said I could come up because you forgot our dinner reservation." Emma stood there in her school uniform, backpack still on her shoulders. Victoria's heart sank. She had completely forgotten. Again. "Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. Let me just finish here and we'll go." But Emma's attention had shifted to Marcus, who had knelt down to her eye level, with the natural ease of someone comfortable around children. "Hey there. I'm Marcus. You must be Emma. Your mom's told me absolutely nothing about you, which means I get to find out myself. What's your favorite thing in the whole world?" Emma's shy smile was genuine. "Butterflies. I have 17 books about them." 17? That's serious dedication. I bet you know more about butterflies than most scientists. "I do. Did you know the monarch butterfly can travel 3,000 miles? Victoria watched in amazement as her usually reserved daughter lit up, chattering away to this stranger who seemed genuinely interested in every word. Marcus shared that his own daughter Zoe, also 8, loved collecting rocks and could talk for hours about geology. "Single dad life," he said with a warm laugh. "Every day's an adventure." Something shifted in the air. Victoria realized this man understood the weight of solo parenting in a way her wealthy social circle never could. He wasn't judging her for working late or missing dinner reservations. He simply got it. "Mr. Thompson, would you and your daughter like to join us for dinner? It seems our girls might enjoy meeting each other." The words surprised Victoria as much as they seemed to surprise Marcus. But Emma's hopeful expression sealed the decision. 2 hours later, they sat in a family-style Italian restaurant that Victoria would never have chosen. Emma and Zoe had bonded instantly over shared interests. Marcus and Victoria found themselves in conversation that went far beyond construction projects. He told her about losing his wife to cancer 3 years ago, about rebuilding his life around Zoe, about finding purpose in honest work rather than climbing corporate ladders. She found herself sharing her own story. The failed marriage, the guilt of being an absent mother, the loneliness of success. "You know what I think?" Marcus said quietly, as the girls giggled over shared dessert. "I think you're doing better than you believe. Emma's smart, kind, and clearly loves you. The fact that you're worried about being a good mom proves you already are one." Victoria felt unexpected tears prick her eyes. When was the last time anyone had simply affirmed her? Over the following weeks, chance encounters became intentional plans. Weekend park visits, where Marcus taught both girls to throw a football. Movie nights at Victoria's penthouse, where Marcus seemed comfortable despite the obvious wealth gap. Quiet conversations after the children were asleep, where two wounded souls found unexpected comfort in each other's company. Marcus never seemed intimidated by Victoria's success or her money. He valued her mind, her humor, her heart. And Victoria discovered that real strength wasn't measured in quarterly earnings, but in the gentle way Marcus braided his daughter's hair, or the patience he showed when Emma struggled with homework. But their growing connection faced challenges. Victoria's board members raised eyebrows when Marcus appeared at company events. Her mother called with thinly veiled concern about her dating the help. Old insecurities surfaced. Was she being foolish? Could this really work? The crisis came when Emma fell ill with pneumonia. Victoria was in the middle of crucial merger negotiations that could make or break her company. She stood in the hospital hallway, torn between the boardroom and her daughter's bedside, feeling like she was failing at everything that mattered. Marcus found her there at 2 a.m, having driven straight from a job site when he heard. He didn't lecture her about priorities or judge her divided attention. He simply said, "Go handle your meeting. I'll stay with Emma. She needs both of us to be our best selves, not martyrs." In that moment, Victoria understood what partnership really meant. Not someone who demanded she choose between her ambitions and her heart, but someone who helped her honor both. She made the meeting via video call from the hospital, closing the deal while Marcus sat with Emma, reading her butterfly books in different silly voices that made her laugh despite her fever. When Emma recovered, she asked Victoria a question that changed everything. "Mommy, can Marcus be my dad? Not instead of my real dad, but like my everyday dad?" Victoria's throat tightened. "Would you like that, sweetheart? He makes you smile the way you do in the old pictures with Daddy, before everything got sad, and he already knows how to be a dad. He's really good at it." That night, Victoria told Marcus what Emma had said. They were in his modest apartment, so different from her penthouse but filled with warmth her place had always lacked. Photos of Zoe covered the fridge. Hand-drawn artwork decorated the walls. This was what a home felt like. "I'm scared," Victoria admitted. "I've failed at this before. What if I mess it up again?" Marcus pulled her close, his voice steady. "The difference is, last time you were with someone who wanted to change you. I love who you are. The driven CEO and the worried mom. The woman who closes million-dollar deals and forgets dinner reservations. All of it. That's the woman I want to build a life with." 3 months after their first meeting, on a cool autumn evening with both girls at a sleepover, Marcus and Victoria stood on her terrace overlooking the city lights. The chemistry between them had been building, undeniable tension in every lingering glance and accidental touch. "I never expected this," Victoria said softly. "I thought I had everything figured out." Marcus took her hand, his calloused fingers gentle against her skin. "Life has a way of surprising us. Sometimes the thing we need most arrives in the most unexpected package." "Are you talking about yourself or me?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Both." "Neither. Does it matter?" He pulled her closer and she could feel the heat radiating from his body. His voice dropped lower, intimate. "Victoria Blake, I need you to know something. I've been thinking about you constantly, about us, about what this could be." She looked up at him, heart racing. "What are you saying?" Marcus's eyes held hers with an intensity that made her breath catch. "I'm saying that tonight, if you want, I'll give you all 10 inches. He paused, then reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a worn, leather-bound journal. All 10 inches of my late wife's journal. The one where she wrote about love, loss, and finding happiness again after heartbreak. I want you to read it, to understand that what I'm offering you isn't casual. It's everything. Victoria felt tears spring to her eyes at the unexpected vulnerability. This man, this beautiful soul, was offering her his heart in the most profound way possible. Not through empty seduction, but through raw honesty and trust. "Marcus," she whispered, taking the journal with trembling hands, "this is the most intimate thing anyone has ever shared with me." "You deserve to know all of me," he said softly. "The grief, the hope, the man I was, and the man I'm becoming with you. I want forever, Victoria, not just tonight." He pulled her into his arms then, and their kiss was everything, tender and passionate, full of promise and possibility. Two people who had walked through fire separately, finding healing in each other's arms. 6 months later, Victoria stood at the altar in a simple ceremony, surrounded by close friends and family. Emma and Zoe served as flower girls, their matching dresses and bright smiles testament to the family they'd all become. As Marcus slipped the ring onto her finger, Victoria realized that sometimes the greatest success wasn't measured in boardrooms or bank accounts, but in the love you built with someone who saw you, truly saw you, and chose you anyway. They had both learned that healing doesn't follow a schedule, that love doesn't care about social status, and that sometimes the most unlikely connections create the strongest foundations. Marcus had given her what no amount of money could buy. A partnership built on respect, a love built on genuine connection, and a family built on choosing each other every single day. As they danced their first dance as husband and wife, Victoria whispered, "Thank you for showing up." Marcus smiled against her hair. "Thank you for letting me in." And in that moment, surrounded by the people they loved most, two broken families became one beautifully whole one.